Question number 14. Easy, medium, hard. Now, if it's a digital exam, you're going to be in the borderline of medium and hard. But if it's paper-based test, you're still going to be in the medium level questions. But this is qualified for either medium or hard. Notice no image given to you, and we're dealing with the geometrics, geometry in triangle XYZ. Immediately, I'm drawing a triangle on my side, scratch piece of paper. And I like to draw right triangles because the majority of triangle questions they give you in a test is going to be right triangle related, but I don't put the symbol for right just yet. But then as I continue to read, angle Y is a right angle. So I'll put that right angle right there. I'm going to put my Y. And now where did I put my X? You put it where you want, X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do it like this. Now they tell us the point P lies on XZ. You see how already they're getting trickerations with us, man, to make it a little more complex. Where are we going to put that point P? On XZ, right? Line XZ. So line XZ, what if I put it like right here, right there? I'm gonna call that point P. And then Q. And then we got point Q lies on YZ. So let's put point Q such that PQ is parallel to XY. So I'm gonna put my Q right there on YZ, but they said such that line PQ is parallel to XY. So it looks like, let me use some different colorations. So it looks like that PQ is parallel to XY. All right. All right. When that happens, not only do we have 90 degrees here, but we're going to have 90 degrees there. And we're dealing with similar triangles. Similar triangles means that you got a big brother triangle and a little brother, no, little brother triangle. Or you have a big sister triangle, little sister triangle. But the two triangles are almost like, what do you call it? Congruent, but they're not congruent because one is smaller than the other. So the sides, corresponding sides would be proportional. Now, what makes similar triangles very closely associated congruent triangles are the angle measurements. They'll always be the same in either one. If it sounds confusing, don't worry. Eventually, you're going to see other triangle questions in which we'll break that sucker down. Now, they said if the measure of angle XZY, now be very careful, XZY is going to be this guy right there. They're saying that that is 63 degrees. Cool. Now, remember, we got our 90 degrees already built in. So for the big triangle, what would be, they're asking for XPQ. Let's do angle X. What would X have to be if we already have 90 degrees and 63 degrees? How many degrees do we have in any triangle? 180 degrees. So if I were to subtract the 90, we would have 90 degrees left over. Then I would subtract the 63. And what are we going to have? 90 minus 63 equals 27. So this guy must be 27. If that is 27, remember the small brother triangle? That means that angle P would also have to be 27. That's what makes these two triangles similar or congruent, that they have the same angle measurements. However, it's not congruent, this triangle, for the big triangle, small triangle. It's similar because the side measurements are not exactly the same, but they are proportional to each other. Now, the simple thing is that the question is asking us, oh, what is the angle XPQ? XPQ is going to be this angle right there. So how many degrees do we have in a straight line? A straight line is also going to be 180 degrees. But if I already have 27 degrees, what would happen if I subtract 180 minus 27 is going to equal 153. And that is the answer to that question. And that's really it, gentlemen and ladies. Let's not forget, ladies in the house, ladies in the house.